Welcome back for part 3 of What If Vader Never Found Ahsoka's lightsabers. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts, I highly recommend you watch those first before watching this video. The links will be in the description below. Leaving his secret location, Sidious swooped vertically into space, accompanied by 2 of his most loyal guards. Using the last known location of the tracking device, Sidious is directed to the core of the galaxy, and to the place he called his home. The planet of Coruscant was now a symbol for his ascension to power, and the Jedi Temple served as part of a quickly forgotten past. Finally landing on one of his newly constructed docking areas, Sidious strode menacingly towards the location of Vader's suit, oblivious to the surrounding civil unrest and the brutality being caused by his Imperial forces. A Mon Calamari native approached the Sith Lord, begging for him to change some of his anti-alien policies, but Sidious swept him aside, his royal guards stunning the poor aquatic with their force pikes. The beeping from his transmitter became louder with each step, and now he was in the grounds of the renovated Imperial Palace. Taking paces onto the stone-flagged courtyard, Sidious was greeted by an unexpected sight. Pieces of Vader's suit were scattered across the plaza, with the central console flashing in the middle. Sidious quickly gathered the pieces together with the Force, and from what he could see, the damage had been done by rough lightsaber strikes. None of this made sense to the Sith Lord. Either his apprentice had been defeated, or he had thrown away the suit. The latter was more likely, as he would have likely felt the fall of his apprentice. But why had he chosen here, and why had he not responded? Surely he had not fallen to the pesky rebels. He would need to take a more direct approach. Back aboard the ship of Bail Organa, the former Sith Lord Darth Vader completed his transformation into his new suit. Searching for Sidious, he found that he had lost the connection, by virtue of beginning to return to the light, and not becoming dependent upon pain for his power. Looking at his lightsaber to the side, he asked Ahsoka to cut through it, just as she had done with his suit. Ahsoka wasted no time, and one of Vader's components of terror had now been removed. It could not undo the damage he had already done, but it was a step forward. He needed a replacement before the Emperor tracked him down. Vader would not be able to hide for long. Contrary to the medical advice of the droids, Vader leaves the planet in his suit, along with Ahsoka and the former clones, looking for parts for his new lightsaber and a kyber crystal. Reaching out like he had done as a Jedi, Vader struggles to meditate like a Jedi, and needs the guidance of Ahsoka. Unlike with the Sith meditation taught by Sidious, Vader now had to try and let go of his emotions, something he had never been able to do anyway. Their attempts are useless, and now running out of fuel in the Outer Rim, they are forced to make an emergency landing. If Vader thought that his pain was now over, the navigation computer begged to differ, as they were now heading for his former home planet of Tatooine. The only consolation was that this was the last place Sidious would search. Finally touching on the sand, Vader's new boots prevent the irritating sand from getting through, but he was focused on a Force presence. Ahsoka beside him could sense the same presence, and they set off, leaving the former clones to guard the ship. Even though they had experience of the vicious sandstorms on Tatooine, it impedes their progress, and it is dusk by the time they arrive at the mysterious presence. The sandstorm had now abated, and the twin suns were lighting the surface with an orange hue. One hut, however, shone more prominent to the pair than the others. Heading towards its entrance, Ahsoka ignited her blade to provide more lighting, and they knocked on the open front entrance. The sound of jostling forced Ahsoka to tighten the grip on her blade, and they heard another lightsaber ignite. The same battered face that she had seen on the holoprojector of Obi Wan Kenobi appeared. She had no idea he had lived here. There had to be a purpose to this. Ahsoka deactivated her lightsaber in relief, but Obi Wan keeps his ignited, seeing the shadow cast by the tall, intimidating suited figure behind Ahsoka. The usually confident Ahsoka was unsure what to do. The former Master and Padawan were staring at each other with intense hatred. The apprentice stepped forward, forcing Ahsoka to move into Obi-Wan's hut, and Obi-Wan further back. But then the Chosen One felt what he had been looking for. Stretching out his new hand, a lightsaber hilt zoomed from a small chest and into his palmed glove. Igniting it, he inspected the blue blade, and again, he collapsed to the ground. Ahsoka rushes to her master's aid, but Obi-Wan stood back cautiously, although now deactivating his blade. He could feel the guilt in the being he had left on Mustafar. Ahsoka removed her master's mask, and she could see the pain in his eyes, memories of the destruction he had caused with this lightsaber flooding back to him. Shifting her position, Obi-Wan now saw that the light he had felt was not a mere vestige. Anakin Skywalker had returned. This had been not a part of their plan. Yoda told him that one never returned from the temptations of the dark side. But then again, Anakin had never been one to follow the rules. Anakin got back to his feet and ignited his blue blade again, feeling its warm connection returning to him. He was grateful for Obi-Wan keeping the object, but like Ahsoka, he wanted answers. The night was spent discussing their version of the events, with Ahsoka ensuring that Obi-Wan and Anakin did not threaten to kill each other again. The conversation would inevitably shift to the events on Mustafar, and it is at this point Ahsoka couldn't take the strain any longer and headed outside. Looking into the distance, the suns begin their rise, and the Togruta could hear the voice of a woman calling for somebody called Luke. In that moment, Ahsoka knew Obi Wan's purpose for being on Tatooine. That is it for part 3 of What If Vader Never Found Ahsoka's Lightsaber. If you'd like to see a part 4, please like this video, and if you're new to this channel and my other channel, subscribe for more what ifs. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.